Luigi CR, what kind of tips do you have for a good entrance of an intimidating character for a scary story? I run a D&D group in a pretty creepy setting, and I want the main bad guy to be more subtle in his terror. So I'm going to be that guy and plug this for you. I made a whole video on villain entrances. To answer your question specifically here, one of the things that I really like in villain entrances, and I can just show you here, is villain who is able to be their full villainous self without necessarily hurting any of the main characters or like anyone like super important to the plot. You know, the Joker is that Joker isn't against Batman, Joker's against the mob. Not have this get copyrighted. And you know, he kills the guy and it's very menacing, but we don't have to have him kill anyone important like Batman or anything, but we still get to show the Joker like being powerful and being cool. And I think that's like a really, really interesting way of starting off, because like you don't have to have anyone like actually leave the story that's important. But yeah, figuring out what's the thing that your character, the one cool thing about, and I'm gonna mute this real quick. The one cool thing about Joker here is that not only is he doing things against the mob instead of Batman, right? So we can root for him because he's not actively doing anything bad against people that we care about. In fact, he's fighting against the villains. But the thing that he does to demonstrate his prowess is super close to his character. It's really genuine to him. He didn't just come in and shoot somebody in the face, right? Which he easily well could have. He chose to do a magic trick, and his magic trick is having a pencil slam into a guy's face. And I've already done like a full breakdown of this video, but it's a combination of he is a villain to the villains, which makes him kind of like the highest villain here. He is effective at what he does and kills a guy, which makes him automatically terrifying. It's evocative of his character. And so now we get a sense of like who Joker is, even before him having to do anything like plot related. We also get a sense of him being like kind of like good at martial arts and able to defend himself, which is a bit different from like the clown prince of crime that we had known before. It's very Christopher Nolan-esque. And we also get him being able to deliver his ideology and his dialogue like as the scene goes, right? So he like goes into the lion's den himself. He talks about killing Batman. It's all just like literally perfect. So that's a lot of what I would say if you want to talk about like villain entrances, is figuring out kind of like who your villain is going to aggress against in their entrance, because almost every time without fail, like a great villain is going to aggress against some character to demonstrate their effectiveness as the villain. That is like almost like a universal rule. And they're also going to be able to deliver some type of dialogue that gives insight into why they're creepy or dangerous or threatening. They're going to perform some type of like action that can be appreciated by the audience, but ultimately is kind of like an indicator of like why they're dangerous. But for your character specifically, again, just like Joker used a magic trick because he's the Joker, you have to figure out something for them that is like for that character. You know, Ketherick Thorm has he aggresses against goblins, and the goblins like kill him and he's like, do it again. And the goblins kill him and he's like, do it again. And that's his thing for his character. So you kind of have to figure that out. But I hope that helps a little bit. Because I think villain entrances are super fun to write, but they could also be difficult because you really have to think and get in close with the character that you want to have make that first impression.